Welcome back to the final chapter in our documentary about the Citi Golf. Apologies that it took so long, but we're probably going to change the format of these. We've done a Mercedes W116 before this, and we do them in 4 parts. Part 1 is a general introduction to the range: who, where, what, why, how. Part 2 is the nitty-gritty specs and engines and trim levels and all of that. Part 3 is pros and cons, a sort of buyer's advice. And part 4, this one for the Citi Golf, is anecdotal, where we interview owners, past and present, to give you the impression of what life is like with a Citi Golf. I think we better run the logo with those videos in 3, 2, 1. Okay, before we get started, we made another observation. It concretes my belief that people use the Citi Golf as a stepping stone. They see it as a cheap budget car, which it is, because 100% of the people you're about to see now, thank you boys and girls for submitting and for letting us record you, 100% of those are Citi Golf owners, current Citi Golf owners. Whereas all of the people who either refused to be on camera or never got back to us are past Citi Golf owners. So they don't own up to having had a Citi Golf, which is a real pity. We love them, but that's just the stigma. Unfortunately, I just needed to mention that. Right, here we go. A couple of random questions. Go.
Okay, my first Citi Golf was in 2016. It was a standard 1.6 body with a 2-litre motor. Then I would have had the 1.6 carburetor. Probably would have had a 1.6 carburetor.
Yes.
Stand get him on camera, please. Yeah, 1.6 carburetor. And then, well, then I had a 1.4i velocity.
When I got mine, well, that was in 2002. That's when I actually got the first one, because I was just starting out varsity and I needed a vehicle. And then I eventually found this one. It was at the dealership, and I said, okay, just let me go and have a look at it. Because at that time the newspaper didn't handle pictures and that you can see. So I went down and had a look, and I saw this little purple Citi Golf standing there. And I asked the salesman, is that the Golf that was advertised? And he said yes. Well, instantly, that was when I actually got hooked on this little Citi Golf.
I think we got our first Citi Golf in about 2007. Paid 11,000 Rand for it. It was a 1300 4-speed, and the first thing I did was put a tow hitch on it and a roof rack. Yes. And that's where it started. Second vehicle, I sold the first vehicle. It was on about 280,000 kilometers. Sold it and then got a Chico, a red Chico in great condition. Paid 40 grand for it. And the roof rack from the first car went onto the second car. It already had a tow hitch, but I did an extra modification. I made on the front bumper, I made an A-frame device so it could be towed around vehicles. Right, so the red Chico became a vehicle that could take a load on the roof, could tow a load. I built a very light trailer for it. In fact, still got the trailer. And the vehicle could be towed behind another vehicle. If you were dropping off a bus, you could, or even collecting parts, dropping vehicles off far away, you would tow the Citi Golf behind you and then drive the Citi Golf back. So that worked very well. After the red Chico, I had got my first of the white Citi Golfs, which was the third Citi Golf. It was a 1400 carburetor, 5-speed. Once again, roof rack, tow hitch, front A-frame bumper. And what I did with that car is I put on 15-inch rims, which gave it a bit more ground clearance, because the Citi Golfs actually went off-road. They were driving Botswana and all over the place. And then the fourth rendition was I think it was a Tenacity, so it was after the 2007. It was a 1400 fuel-injected car. So I think I had every Citi Golf for 2 or 3 years, and they worked. They never gave trouble. They just did what they had to do.
To be honest with you, it's a very cheap car. It's a little reliable car. If I could tell anybody out there for their first car, they should definitely take a Citi Golf. It is hard on the road though. It is not a power steering little luxury car. It is definitely a car. But economically, it's a very, very easy car. Easy on your pocket at least.
What's the best thing about the Citi Golf? Well, there's quite a few still on the road. You get really a lot of street cred if they, especially if they're seeing this one, they're just like, whoa, this is a purple Citi Golf. I haven't seen one for a lot of years. You get like all the normal colors like whites and greys and silvers, and also another reason is like parts are still relatively easy to get. Yeah, general wire servicing and getting the car back on the road is fairly easy. That's the reason I love about this little vehicle. They're just easy to maintain and keep on the road.
It's simple, cost-effective, straightforward, reliable. I don't think we had, in the 12 years that I had Citi Golfs, 4 different Citi Golfs, we never had any major issues. There was maybe straightforward servicing, maybe a water pump, but other than that, no issues at all.
I'm not going to name and shame the Citi Golf because obviously I love it a lot. Out of my personal experience, it won't be big problems like engines and whatnot. It would definitely just be gear links, door handles. Normal problem on a Citi Golf is door handles, gears.
Small stuff.
Just small things, little accessories, nitty-gritties that you can obviously fix very fast.
The worst thing about these cars, well, they tend to rust. Especially around the boot lid and the front pillars and that, and sometimes behind the bumpers you can't actually see. That's because of the coastal conditions. In inland you don't have that problem, but yeah, in coastal conditions you do get it. That's the reason always have to keep your hand on it, and yeah, they easily also, at the time they were very popular to be stolen and used for parts. I unfortunately was a victim of that, where basically a lot of items were stolen off my vehicle and I had to replace it over the years.
The worst thing about these cars, I don't think there is a bad thing about a Citi Golf. I mean, they were cheap. They were cheap to run. Worst thing is probably the ventilation. When you put the aircon on, only 2 of them had aircon, but when you put the aircon on, it was usually just your elbow or your forehead that got frozen.
The long drives and the low fuel consumption because you can drive very far. Also, my favorite memory of my vehicles was I used to put in power flows in all of my vehicles. So it was the sound. I was in love with the sound of my cars.
The fondest memory, well, the first one was when I actually got the vehicle, and the second time was actually driving down with my then girlfriend, now wife, going to all these different places, traveling all over. That's still today, we have so many memories together. That's like, because these memories are always lost, and I can always think about it back then, and when I still see this vehicle and I climb it, all those memories come back. If you have a bad day and you had a lot of good memories, I just come here, just relax, and then all the good vibes and everything just keeps coming back, and relax. So yeah, that's why there's so many fond memories. I can't actually put it up there, but yeah, this little Golf brings a lot back to me.
Man, I've got so many fond memories. We used to go motorbike riding, so I would connect my trailer behind the Citi Golf and load the bikes up full kit and arrive at the motocross track with a Citi Golf with 3 motorbikes on the back. Yeah, so those were fond memories. I had many many fun times with the family doing that.
It would be the best first choice you could make, I guess. Personally speaking, it would be the first option for me, because it's one thing to buy a car for 100k, but it's another thing to buy one for 20k and make it up to your liking.
Yes.
So you get to pump your ride up how you want it, and if it breaks, it's easy to fix, cheap too, and parts you can find almost anywhere.
We can see there are lots of parts over here behind you.
No, definitely.
And maybe I can add to that, if you had the choice, or someone had the choice, which model should they go for?
2005 up, anything new spec, and definitely fuel injection.
Okay.
Carburetors aren't the best. They give a lot of problems short term. Fuel injections give problems, but it's more long term problems compared to carburetors.
Advice for aspiring Citi Golf owners. Well, if I can give you an advice, try and keep them as neat and clean as possible. Don't go over the top with modifications. Just try and keep it as simple and easy to maintain still. Because I know a lot of guys are putting a lot of stronger, bigger engines in and changing, dropping it, cutting some section of the vehicle that's making it more, for me, structurally not so strong, but is their vehicle, so they can work. But for me, I would rather say, if you can find one in a very clean condition, just keep it that way, because sometime, somewhere down the line, they'll actually increase in value again. So yeah, that's my advice for us Citi Golf owners.
Whenever I bought my Citi Golfs, I would always park them on a level surface and then look dead on the car, because if the Citi Golf's been in any accidents, you'll see it on its fender straight away. The bonnet will be slightly offset. So for the rest of the car, you know, I always wanted to buy a straight panelled car, so that would be my only advice.
Oh, I want to restore. I want to go into restoration. I want to get a old Citi Golf and just restore it back to what it's supposed to be. You know, the old Mark 1s with the little steely bumpers and everything. That is my goal.
Excellent. Thank you for your time.
What's the plans for my vehicle? Well, it's still a few things that I'm still working on. I need to sort out a few little electrical issues that I've still developed over the years, because I have modified it engine wise, because it's changed from carburetor to fuel injection, so some things hasn't been sorted out 100%. But yeah, the car runs, everything is fine. It's just, for me, it's just to keep it, maintain it, and just trying to find all those little original parts that I still need just to get it to that stage where I'm actually happy. But as anyone knows, once a modification bug bites and it's a project vehicle, it never ends. So yeah, I'll always enjoy this vehicle forever, and it'll always stay with me till the end. Thanks.
And what are your plans for the Citi Golf? To buy, our plans are to buy another one. Simple as that. Yeah, probably out of the 4 Citi Golfs, I like the red Chico the most. It was, yeah, I think it was just the color actually, and it was a 1400 carburetor, fantastic engine, super reliable, nothing to go wrong with.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, just before we end off, as is now customary, here are some random and funny Citi Golf sightings that we found on the internet. Enjoy!
Citi Golfs op die aarde gesit. Die Here het Citi Golfs op die aarde gesit om vir ons almal humble te hou. En te remind dat maak nie saak wat sy ry nie. Daar's altyd 'n Citi Golf vinniger as jou.
Okay, that wraps up this video and indeed the whole series about the Citi Golf. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments below what you think. Keep your hands on the wheel. We're probably going to shorten these